Yo, what is up? We are back with news and updates. We have 4 pieces of news for you coming in hard and fast. Today is the first day of the last Waffentrager event. Catch us if you can, starting on the EU servers. And I'm going to make the news as quick as possible, but basically today you're going to catch your favorite content creators, YouTubers, streamers driving the Waffentrager E220, and they will be shitting out gold boxes or footlockers that have a chance of winning premium tanks, including the brand new T77. So make sure you are on these times. Now in EU they started on the 28th, but from today onwards at 3 p.m. Europe time or CEST time, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. If you are watching them on Twitch, you're gonna get a drop. Basically, I think there are 3 items in the drop, including camouflage or something like that, and including one of these boxes. Now, I've made a video about one of these about these boxes. In fact, the last 50 boxes that I opened had 10 tanks in them, which means you have a 1 in 5 chance of getting a tank. Every 5 boxes you could get 1 tank. So make sure you try to, number 1, kill your community contributors, people who are driving the E220 tanks, get a free box there. Or watch them on Twitch and try to get them from the Twitch drops on the 2nd of October, which is today, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. EU time. Tomorrow and Sunday will be different time, which is 8 a.m. until midnight, so the whole day through Saturday and Sunday. This is the EU times. These are your community contributors, famous people down there, streamers and YouTubers. On the NA is the same. I think maybe they started even earlier. Yes, they started on the 29th as well, but they've got Twitch drops right now, enabled right now on Friday, Saturday and Sunday. If you go to their Twitch sites, this is the EU site. They're not online right now, but this is their address if you watch them on Twitch, World of Tanks. If you go to NA, in fact they are streaming right this moment that I am recording, and Twitch drops should be enabled now. I'm not sure what is they're still 1st of October. Actually, I'm on 2nd of October. They're still on 1st of October, but from tomorrow onwards they will be having Twitch drops enabled. So if you watch them on stream at this times, 4 p.m. Pacific time or 7 p.m. Eastern time, you will be entitled to Twitch drops. All you need to do is make sure your account is linked to your Twitch. Your account as your World of Tanks account is linked to your Twitch account. You need to do that at your World of Tanks portal settings, and you should be able to do that. Now the next piece of news, I said I had 4 pieces of news for you guys, right? The next piece of news is the Italian tech tree, so we will watch a video on that. This is a new tank, new line of heavy tanks on the test server. So we will jump straight to 1 minute and 14 seconds. Let's go straight into it. The first tank you are looking at is going to be the P88 tier 7. It starts from tier 7 and branches out from the P43 bis and then to the heavy tank. This tank does not have
with a high rate of fire at its disposal.
This tank does not have auto reloader. This tank is a single shot.
A reworked wartime project in this tank, a concept using a rear transmission arrangement. The hull was longer, but maintenance was easier. This solution brings to mind the experience of British designers who tried to make heavy tanks out of light tanks. That is why this Italian has good mobility for a heavy with average armor. The branch continues with the Progetto CC55 Mod 54.
So next is the tier 8 tank, so let's go fast forward and take a look at it in action.
The Progetto CC55 Mod 54 is better protected than its predecessor and has a more powerful 105mm gun. But the most interesting aspect of the Progetto CC55 is that it's the first appearance of the Italian Heavy's improved auto reloader. Let's talk more about it.
So here's the
When
new
there's no
auto
danger,
reloading
shells
mechanic.
auto reload similarly to Italian medium tanks. The first shell loads the slowest, the last the fastest. The differences begin when you start shooting. For example, let's take a situation when the first shell is ready to fire and the second one is still loading. If it was fired from an Italian medium tank, you would have to wait the full shell loading time. After a shot, the improved mechanic starts working, which facilitates the gun reloading. A special marker will be displayed next to the loading timer. The reloading time of the next shell will start gradually decreasing. Once the marker turns white, the loading time will be halved, a nice bonus. You can fire at any moment, but the longer the shell reloads, the faster the next shell becomes available. Take a shot before the shell reloads completely. Otherwise, the next shell will be loaded as normal. The new mechanics will contribute to the gameplay variety of the Italian vehicles. So, in the near future, we'll focus on testing it properly.
So basically this is the new auto reloading reloader or auto reloader mechanic, which is really weird, but yeah, that's what it looks like. This is the tier 9 C50 mod 66. And now this tank looks sexy. Now you can see most of these tanks have not been textured out yet. They've been modeled out, but they've not been textured out. But it looks sexy once it's finished. 400 average damage, 268 penetration, pretty standard for tier 9 tanks. And now you're looking at the tier 10. This is the Rhino Chirote or whatever, the Rhino. So basically it's going to be a fast heavy tank, but it's got sloped turret armor. In my opinion, the armor is going to mean nothing unless they are shooting from a ridge. They need to be angled for them to be effective. When on flat terrain, they're not going to be effective at all. And these guns have terrible dispersion. We're talking about 0.40 territory dispersion. These tanks are going to be like, you know, like pissing after sex. They're just going to shoot all over the place. But let's look at this is the premium tank, tier 8. So let's look at it in action.
The Progetto C45 Mod 71 has great upper glacis angles and somewhat rounded turret corners. Its effective armor is great and has additional protection in the form of screens.
Again, those are effective armor values.
Same tier enemies on the front line, and its tank feels comfortable against same tier enemies. Its effective armor is great and has additional protection in the form.
Again, we are looking at effective armor values. These are not the actual armor values. On flat land, you are going to be able to pen everything here with premium shells. This is effective armor, is like angled armor. So that's what I think anyway. But let's continue.
Of screens. This tank feels comfortable against same tier enemies on the front line. And it's even better in positional combat if you have a chance to use terrain to your advantage. The depression angle of -10 degrees allows it to completely hide the hull and block damage with the turret.
10 degrees gun
depression. In this
depression.
position, the effective armor increases even more, and it can become a big problem for many enemies. The 105mm gun and free shell magazine can deal 1,000 damage in 6 seconds. And of course, it has the improved auto-reloading system that will enable it to feel confident in any situation.
Auto reloader, reloader.
Requires firing like a cyclical vehicle? Great. Got a chance to deal a lot of damage to the enemy with all 3 shells? Sure thing. The enemy won't let you safely reload your magazine? No problem. You can still bring the fight in cyclical firing mode. And the most calculating soldier can even shoot twice at the enemy and switch to cyclical firing. And when the enemy has very little HP left, finish them off with 2 accurate shots. However, such benefits have a price. The accuracy and aiming characteristics of the tank are below average. You probably won't be able to fire effectively from mid-distance, despite the nice view range of 380 meters. But in most cases, this won't be necessary. The Progetto C45 Mod 71 has good mobility as for a heavy tank. Its top speed of 50 kilometers per hour and specific power of 12.46 horsepower per ton allow it to cross long distances without being an outsider among other heavy tanks of the same tier. Soon, the Progetto C45 Mod 71, together with other Italian heavy tanks, will get to the super test, where we'll be adjusting their characteristics right up until release. Upon making changes, we'll share additional details. Meanwhile, leave your feedback on the forum and in the comments under the video. It helps us make the game better. Good luck on the battlefield.
So basically it's going to be a fast heavy tank with a bad gun. That's what it's going to be. We're going to get to that mod 61 very quickly, but first we're going to look at the tech tree. This is the tier 7, tier 8, tier 9, tier 10. Here you go, tier 7. This is the tier 7 this is the gun that will shoot faster. This is the gun that will shoot slower, but the slower gun is going to have better penetration for standard shells, and the faster gun, the one that reloads faster, is going to have terrible penetration on standard shell. So this is going to be your free-to-play player using this gun, and this is going to be your gold spammer, your pay-to-win guy. He's going to use this gun with the faster reload, and instead of 164 penetration, he's going to have 200 plus penetration on the premium shells, because he's going to use premium shells and he's going to grind through it very quickly. This is the tier 8, again not textured yet. Again, this is still the tier 8. It's supposed to be something like a pattern M46, M47 pattern. Pretty good. Not much info about it, but pretty good. That's the reload mechanic, the auto reloading reloader. This is the tier 9. I think it's kind of sexy. I like it. And that's the tier 10. So let's move on. Here's the premium Progetto C40 Mod 71. This is going to be rivaling the Progetto 46 premium tank. Again, these are the effective armor values when... I don't know on flat ground if it's going to be very effective. That is my my feeling here. I think it's going to be effective when it's fighting over, when it's using its 10 degrees gun depression. This is what the tank looks like. The stats are all out here, but all the stats here, they don't mean a thing right now because we don't know the ground resistances. These are the soft stats. So on the video it looks like it is pretty mobile tank, but all this could change when they announce the actual ground resistances. So we don't know that at the moment. This is the armor values. Like I said, hull armor doesn't look that great, 135. Frontally, I think you can pen it easily, but on an angle, that might be a different story. Again, turret armor 185. Basically, any gun from tier 8 with premium shells can easily pen it from a flat ground, but when it is angled upwards, it might be difficult to pen that. That is my only thing. So what I feel like is this tank is like a fast T77. That's what it looks like it's going to be. The only downside is going to be this gun is 0.40 dispersion. This is terrible gun dispersion. Even if you run food, BIA, vertical stabilizers, improved whatever equipment you use, you're gonna get at best 0.3637 dispersion is gonna be the best dispersion you're gonna get, which means it's gonna be worse than most Soviet heavy tank guns. So imagine you driving a terrible Soviet heavy tank kind of dispersion. This is what the dispersion is gonna be like on this tank. So basically you need to be fighting close and up front, relying on your armor, which I think this tank does not have any armor. So I think it doesn't have any armor, but it needs to fight close, and it can't snipe from a distance, so it needs to be close. It needs to trade the HP for damage. So I don't know how it's going to work, but it's going to be interesting because of that new auto reloading reloader, I guess. Okay, the last piece of news before we get out of here is Common Test Server number 2 is up. Get into it now. What they've changed is the, can you hear my mouse wheel squeaking? That's what you call a mouse, squeaking mouse wheel. So they have improved the T-34-2. If you didn't know, I made a video about the T-34-2 recently. This one here. Basically, it is not worth your time to research this tank, because just skip through it. Both the guns are terrible, but they're trying to improve it by making the penetration a bit better. This would help because the 122 gun with standard ammunition, 175 pen is totally worthless. Now they're going to make it 190. It'll make it a bit better, but the problem isn't the penetration. The problem is the premium shell velocity is 600 something. I'm talking 600 something is basically like an SPG. You're lobbing your shells over the horizon to try and hit something 200 meters away or whatever. Really difficult to hit. So they're improving the mobility by improving the suspension, I guess. The dispersion of the gun has been reduced by 9% while it's moving, while its turret is moving, while the hull is moving. So the dispersion is going to be slightly improved. That wasn't the real problem when I was driving this tank. What I felt like was the gun handling overall wasn't that great. I will give it another try. If I do change my mind, I might make another video out of it. But that's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to watch the videos, I will leave a link for the videos on the loot boxes where I got 10 tanks, and the video where I reviewed the T-34-2 on the test server. So thanks for watching. I will see you on the next video. Bye bye.